Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down big topics to give you the clarity you need. Today, we're unpacking a massive shift in the world of work, and we're going to pinpoint the exact skills you need to not just survive, but actually thrive in what's coming next.
So, let's just dive right in with the big question. Because if you're out there feeling like the ground is shifting under your feet in the job market, well, you're not wrong. Experts are all saying the same thing. The days when a 4-year degree was your golden ticket for life, they're fading. Fast. The game has totally changed.
And if you need a number to wrap your head around this, here it is. The World Economic Forum says that a staggering 44% of core job skills are expected to be disrupted in just the next few years. Think about that for a second. That's nearly half of what we all do at our jobs today, either becoming obsolete or just completely transformed.
Yeah, this isn't just some small tremor. We are right in the middle of a massive job market quake. And it's being driven by these twin forces of technology and, you guessed it, artificial intelligence, which are reshaping entire industries literally right before our eyes.
Okay, so when you first look at this, the fear of jobs just disappearing seems pretty real. I mean, tech is projected to displace around 92 million jobs by 2030. But, and this is a huge but, look closer. It's also set to create about 170 million new ones. Do the math. That's a net increase of 78 million jobs. So the real takeaway isn't that jobs are vanishing, it's that they're fundamentally changing. So that brings us to the real heart of the matter. This isn't about the number of jobs available, it's about the nature of those jobs. You know, as automation starts handling more and more routine tasks, a completely new set of skills is becoming absolutely essential. And that is where we need to put our focus.
And this leads to a really powerful way of looking at all this. This isn't a story about humans versus machines. No way. The future of work is all about humans with machines. It's about using technology to free us up to do the kind of work that, honestly, only we can do.
Think about it this way. As AI gets better and better at all the routine, data-heavy, repetitive stuff, it actually makes the skills that are uniquely human more valuable. You know, a machine can analyze data at lightning speed, but we provide the judgment. A machine can follow a command, but we bring the creativity. This is our edge. And this quote from leadership expert Lise Wilcox, man, it just hits the nail on the head. It says, "The one thing we cannot automate is relationships." And it's so true. No matter how smart our tech gets, our ability to connect, to empathize, to lead, to collaborate, that's our greatest professional superpower. In fact, research from MIT backs this up. It shows that AI is much more likely to augment our work, not replace it. The goal isn't replacement, it's augmentation. AI will handle the predictable parts, freeing up our brainpower to focus on all the messy, complex, creative, and strategic problems that machines just can't touch. So if these human-centric skills are the key to the future, what are they exactly? Which ones matter the most? Let's break down the skills that are becoming the new currency in the job market. Okay, first things first, we have got to stop calling them soft skills. That name makes them sound kind of fluffy, you know, optional. But experts are now calling them power skills. Why? Because in an automated world, these are the real drivers of influence, effectiveness, and success. They're not soft, they're powerful.
Now, to make sense of all this, you should know that even though there are dozens of critical skills being talked about, we can actually group them all into 3 main buckets. And that makes it a whole lot easier to figure out where to start.
First up, we've got cognitive skills. This is basically just how we think. It's your analytical thinking, your creative thinking. But it's really about being able to tackle complex problems that don't have a simple, clean answer. It's about seeing the big picture and connecting the dots in a way that AI just can't. Second, there are social and emotional skills. This is all about how we connect and interact with other people. We're talking emotional intelligence, empathy, leadership, collaboration, all that good stuff. And in a world with so much hybrid work, being able to build trust and work well with the team is more valuable than ever before. And third, we have adaptive skills. This bucket is all about how we deal with change. It's about being resilient and flexible when things get tough, but it's also about having that curiosity to just keep learning forever. It's about being motivated and self-aware enough to embrace new tools and see change as an opportunity, not a threat. This quote about critical thinking is just so on point for right now. Think about it. In the age of ChatGPT,
anybody can get an answer in 2 seconds. That's the easy part. The real skill, the human skill, is knowing how to question that answer, to figure out what's reliable and what's just noise.
Okay, so knowing what skills you need, that's step one. Now, let's get practical. Let's talk about how you can actually start building them. This next part is all about taking control of your own professional growth. Your strategy is really going to come down to two key approaches. There's upskilling, which is all about getting better at what you already do, adding new competencies so you can just crush it in your current role. And then there's reskilling. That's about learning totally new skills so you can pivot into a completely different job or even a new industry. And here is some really good news. This doesn't mean you have to start over from scratch. Take a look at this chart. It shows that for most people, the biggest need isn't for brand new specialized skills. It's about topping up the skills and experience you already have. So for most of us, this is about evolution, not a total revolution. And this is exactly why you hear experts talking about a skills-first economy now. The idea of a traditional career ladder where you just climb straight up is kind of dead. Think of it more like a lattice or a jungle gym where you move sideways and diagonally based on the skills you have. What you can do is becoming way more important than your formal job title.
So how do you get started? It's actually a pretty simple 4-step process. First, do a quick audit of your skills. What do you have versus what does your industry need? Second, set a clear goal. What do you want to achieve? Third, look for targeted short-form training. We're talking certifications and online courses, not necessarily another 4-year degree. And finally, network. Talk to people, find mentors, and get those real-world insights.
So, after we've looked at all the data, all the trends, and all the expert analysis, what's the bottom line? Where does all of this leave us? Well, it all boils down to one simple, incredibly powerful idea.
In a world that is going to be increasingly run by algorithms and data, where so many technical tasks are automated and information is literally everywhere all the time,
Your greatest competitive advantage is your humanity. The very things that make you human, your creativity, your empathy, your critical judgment, your ability to connect with other people, that is what will make you irreplaceable. That's your ultimate edge.
So really, the only question left to ask is, where will you start?